Hi guys, Kelly Ray bringing you a Vinyasa Yoga Flow today. If you'll join me on your mat, we are going to start in a Sphinx pose. So we'll find our way to our hands and knees. We'll walk the knees behind the hip bones and slowly lower the pelvis down to the floor and bringing the hands out in front of us. Our elbows are roughly under those shoulder bones. We're pressing the pelvis into the floor, relaxing the tops of the thighs, the glutes. If this feels too intense, you can walk the hands out further in front of you. You're going to press into the forearms, the elbows, the forearms, and into the palms and fingertips. Press the heart forward and up as you draw those shoulder blades down the back towards the hip bones. We're going to soften the body into the floor as we stay in this Sphinx pose. We're going to tuck the chin down and in just slightly. Option to close the eyes and start to discover your breath. Do a quick scan of the body here. Just bring your focus to right here and right now, to your breath and to your body. Committing to just being here for you. This is your time. A few more breaths here. Lengthen the breath, send the breath all the way down into the belly. Good, we're going to slowly lower down. Stacking the palms of the hands and releasing the forehead down to the hands. Taking a breath, allowing the body a moment to return to the spine to return to the normal curvature. And then we're going to draw our hands underneath the shoulders, tailbone up and back. Our big toes are going to come together and we're going to shift those hips back for child's pose. Find a bend in the elbows. Let the forehead and chest and hips sink down towards the floor with each exhale. Three deep breaths here, and finding ease with each exhale. Inhale, lift the gaze, begin to shift the weight forward. Bring the knees under the hip bones, the hands under the shoulders, spiral those elbows in, shift into the upper portion of the palms, thumb and index finger. Engage the core, lifting the belly button in and up, which naturally tucks the pelvis slightly. We're going to begin our cat-cow flow, so we're going to drop the belly, lifting the tailbone, lifting the chin, warming up our spine here. Exhale, round through. 2 more times. Good, returning back to a neutral spine. We're just going to engage that core again, making sure that our belly button is pulling in and up. Elbows are spiraling in, pressing through the top portion of the palms, engaging those arms nice and firm so that we can extend that right heel back. Keeping the arms nice and stacked. Keeping that left hip bone stacked over that knee, not sinking out to the side, but keeping stacked and strong. Feeling that warmth build into the core. We're going to exhale, drawing that knee back down underneath the body and switching it out. Left heel shoots back. Arms are strong and engaged, belly button pulling in and up. Exhale, draw that knee down. Good, we're going to sink our hips back to our heels. If this position is uncomfortable, you can come into a seated position. From here, our arms are gonna come up over our head, exhaling to heart center. Another option is to come up off of the heels. So find whatever works for you. Inhaling up, exhaling to heart center. 2 more times. Good, interlace those fingers and just circle the wrists one direction. And then go ahead and switch to the other direction. Good, press those palms to the front, feeling a stretch through the wrists and through the hands. Continuing to press them forward, we're going to make sure our shoulder bones are plugged into their sockets, and we're gonna inhale, lifting the arms up over the head. Exhale, drop down to the heart level. And we're just gonna find a twist, taking it over to the right, back to center, and over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Keep those shoulder joints plugged into the socket as you inhale the arms back up overhead. Another inhale here, and as you exhale, let's find a little back bend. So we're gonna take those hands further behind us, lifting the heart, and finding a gentle bend through the back. Exhale, back to center. Release those hands. Good, we're gonna find our way to our tabletop position, and we're gonna start to walk the fingers out to the outer edges of the mat. You might wanna stay right here, or you can walk the fingertips all the way back towards the knee bones. If you want, you can just shift the hips gently back, not being forceful here, but nice and gentle. Feeling an easy, gentle stretch, nothing painful or forceful. One more breath here. Good, we'll start to walk those fingertips back to point to the top of the mat. Shifting the weight into that left hand, we're just going to flip the right palm. And again, if you want to sink the hips back and forth gently, nice and gentle, you can even lift the top part of the wrist up off the mat, just a little, to find more of a stretch through the wrist and the forearm. Good, returning back to normal and switching to the other side. Keep breathing. Good. Bring that hand back to center. We're going to take 2 cat-cow flows here, connecting breath to movement. Really press the heart out through the back, between the shoulders. Inhale, drop the belly, lift that tailbone. Imagine those sit bones separating as you lift the tailbone high. One more set. Returning to tabletop. Beautiful. We're gonna walk our hands just a few inches above. We're gonna tuck our toes and we're gonna send our hips up for our first downward facing dog. Because our legs are probably tight and not warmed up, we're gonna bend deeply through the knees, and then we're gonna shift that tailbone up nice and high, pressing through the hands, pressing the chest towards the upper thighs, keeping that generous bend in the knees. Big breath down into the belly. Exhale, drop the heels down as far as they'll go. Continuing this flow, just beginning to open up the backs of the legs. Again, being gentle, not forceful here. Good, hold here in our traditional downward facing dog. If you still need to keep a bend in the knees, that's fine. One big breath here, all the way down into the belly. Exhale out through the mouth, releasing stress and tension. Good. We're gonna start to walk the hands towards the feet. So slowly walking those hands back towards the feet, coming up into a standing position. We're gonna bend the knees and roll up. Arms come up over the head, and then we're gonna bring the palms together, exhaling to heart center. Inhale the arms up, separate those palms, arms next to the ears. We're going to tuck the pelvis, pull the navel in and up, and slowly bend through the knees as we drop the tailbone, chair pose. Inhale, lengthen through the legs, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close the eyes, take a breath, and send that breath down the body, out through the four corners of the feet. Inhale the arms up, exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips, releasing the head, letting it hang nice and heavy. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees deeply, bring the hands to the floor and walking them back up to find ourselves in a high plank position. Pressing through the upper portion of the palms, elbows spiraling in, belly button pulling in and up, holding here. Good, we're gonna drop the knees, keeping the elbows hugged in, lowering the chest down, and then pressing back up into our Sphinx pose. Soften the glutes, relax the tops of the thighs, lift the heart forward, draw the shoulders down, and breathe. On the next exhale, slowly lower the chest, stack the hands, release the forehead down. Let the body sink into the floor as you exhale. Let go of any tension in the body. Notice if you're feeling tightness in any specific areas or soreness. Lift the gaze, draw the hands under the shoulders, lift the tailbone up and back. Finding our way back into downward facing dog. Our right leg is going to come up. Exhale, bring it through to the right hand. Knee is stacked over the ankle, engaging the core. Bringing the gaze forward and up as you lift the torso. I need to fix my microphone here. Good. Inhale the arms up over the head. Sink deeper into the lunge if it's available. Keeping the knee stacked over the ankle. Exhale the hands down towards the floor. We're going to drop that left knee to the floor, pressing through the left hand and reaching up to the right side. If you'd like to take the bind here, you can lift that left foot, reaching for it with the right hand and squeezing that heel towards the glute. Completely optional. Go ahead and release that foot down if you took the bind. We're gonna circle that right arm all the way forward and down. We're gonna tuck the left toes and we're gonna send that knee back up. From here, we're just gonna drop that left heel to the side And we're gonna check to make sure that the right heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Knee is still stacked over the ankle, the core is engaged as we spiral the arms up to a warrior. Both hips are squared to the side wall. Arms are straight, actively reaching out. Find your breath. Drop that right forearm down on top of the thigh. Left thumb comes to the shoulder and we're gonna reach up and over for extended side angle. Pull that navel in, keeping a nice, strong, engaged core. Bring that thumb back to the shoulder. Using your obliques here, we're going to lift back up to a warrior. Should be feeling that burn through that quadricep. Straighten through the leg. Moving into a triangle, we're going to reach that right hand over and drop it down. 3 breaths here. Keeping the shoulders stacked. Good, slowly using those obliques to come back up and reverse. Good, come back into our warrior. We're going to circle those hands down towards the floor. Left toes rotate forward. Planting the hands, stepping that right foot back, coming down to the knees. Elbows stay hugged in as we lower the chest, pressing up through cobra or sphinx. Exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips up, downward facing dog. Bend through the right knee, ground that left heel. And switch it out. Good, coming into our traditional downward facing dog. We're gonna roll onto the balls of our feet, still pressing deep through the hands, and we're just gonna take the heels over to the right. One more breath here. Inhale, roll back up to the balls of the feet, bringing them to center. Drop the heels over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Draw the heels down. Good, our left foot's gonna come up. We're gonna bring it through. Finding ourselves in a high lunge, engaging the core, lifting up. Take the lunge deeper if it's available. Exhale, drop those hands down to the floor. Release the right knee down. Press through the right hand, open up to the left side. Take the bind if you'd like. Release the bind. Circle that left hand forward and down. Tuck the right toe, send that knee up. And again, we're gonna drop that heel. Make sure that the front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. And let's circle those arms up for our warrior. Strong warrior. Gazing past that front hand. Let's drop that forearm. Thumb comes to the shoulder, reaching up and over with that right hand. That right thumb comes back to the shoulder, reaching up for a warrior. Straighten through the front leg, draw that left hand over the foot, and we're just going to rock the hands down, spiraling, so our chest isn't closing off. That right arm is still stacked right over the left here for a triangle position. Good, engage the oblique. Let's send it up for a warrior. Straighten through and reverse. Good, let's spiral those arms down to the floor. Right toes rotate forward. Plant the hands, step that left foot back. We're in our high plank. Elbows spiraling in. Let's lift that right heel up. Lower down through chaturanga and press up through cobra. Tuck the toes, hips up, downward facing dog. Shift the weight forward. High plank. Left heel comes up. Three-legged plank. Lower down through chaturanga. Press up through cobra. Let those shoulders draw down away from the ears. Lift the heart up and forward. If you want to draw the chin up, slowly lower down. Release the head onto stacked hands. Exhale, let the body sink into the floor. Good. Bring those hands under the shoulders. Lift the tailbone up and back. We're going to walk the knees towards the wrists, coming onto our seat. Root through those sit bones, arms come out, palms facing up. We're going to shift that tailbone back. Our spine and torso back. Our heart is lifting. We're not rounding off through the spine here. It's very important that we are lifting that heart. Nice, flat, tall spine, no rounding. If you find yourself rounding, bring the hands behind the shoulders and then lift the shins so they're parallel to the floor. Arms come out, lower down, back up. 2 more times. Hold here. Keep that heart lifting high, shins parallel to floor, modified boat. Slowly lower all the way down. Exhale, release the body into the floor. Draw the left heel in and then the right. Take that right foot, place it above that left knee. Staying here, or you can draw that left thigh up towards the chest. Good. We're going to bring the arms out to the side. And we're going to drop that right foot over to the left side of the body, keeping that right shoulder on the ground. You can gaze past the right arm if you'd like. Creating a spinal twist. Engage the core, coming back to center. We're going to unhook that foot and switch it out. Left ankle comes right above that right knee. Option is stay here, or you can draw that right thigh towards the chest. Squeezing it in, feeling an opening and a stretch deep into that glute. Breathe into that space. Finding ease and lengthening of the muscles with each exhale. Good, release. Bring the arms out to the side and take that left foot over to the right side of the body. Inhale, come back to center and hook the feet. Pull those heels in towards the glute. Bring the hands down to the sides of the body and press through the soles of the feet as you lift up into a bridge pose. Option to stay here, or you can walk the arms underneath the shoulders, reaching for the clasp. Deep breaths into the belly here. 3 nice big breaths. Watch your belly rise. Slowly lower all the way down, starting with the upper back, mid back, low back. Good, we're gonna pull those knees in and up towards the chest, reaching for the outsides of the feet or peace fingers to the big toes, coming into a happy baby. Feel that low back pressing into the floor. Draw those knees down towards the floor as it's available. Again, 3 breaths deep into the belly. Good. Release those feet up towards the ceiling. Arms come down to the sides of the body, or you can actually put them underneath the low back, so that you can slowly bring those heels all the way down towards the floor, using the core strength. Nice and controlled, nice and slow. Release the hands out to the side. We're letting the body rest into the floor, being completely supported. Taking a few moments for final relaxation. Softening the head. Letting the back of the head where it touches the floor completely soften into the floor. Relaxing the jaw and softening the neck. Taking a breath into the shoulder space. And as you exhale, letting it all melt off into the floor. Breathing down into the hip space. Exhale, softening the hips further into the floor. Completely relaxing the muscles of the right leg, the top of the thigh, the back of the thigh, the knee and the shin, calf, the top of the foot, toes and the sole of the foot. Completely softening that left thigh, top of thigh, back of thigh. Softening that kneecap and shin and calf muscle. Relaxing the ankle, top of foot, toes and sole of the foot. Taking a big breath into the belly to the count of 6. Holding for a count of 3. And slowly exhaling to the count of 6. Bringing your breath back to normal. Allowing your body to just breathe on its own. Relishing in this stillness and this calmness that you cultivated. and knowing and trusting that it's readily available whenever we need it. Go ahead and inhale the arms up over the head. Give the body a nice gentle stretch like you just woke up. Rolling over onto your side and making your way up. That was our full body Vinyasa Flow. I hope you enjoy it. You can help us out by liking, subscribing, and sharing with someone you think might enjoy it. Thank you for your support.